you can ever have. So what we have done is, what we've managed to do is to come up with our phone to come with an 18 megapixels camera, which I believe 18 megapixels is one of the best camera specs that you can find in the market at the moment. We have also put a 5 megapixels front camera in the front of the device, which basically gives you the best picture quality even if you're taking yourself the picture. Because I've seen now people, they normally want to take themselves pictures. So instead of turning your phone like this and trying to guess an angle, which can come out if you've got a friend by the side, we have put a good enough camera so that you don't have the hassle of turning your phone to try to take a picture. You can just capture a good image when the phone is looking at you and you are seeing what you're taking, rather than, you know, just guessing maybe it's here, it's here. So, what I wanted to do is, I believe in demonstrations, like what we did on the ruler. I always tell people that with our cell phone, you can take a picture in complete darkness. When there's complete darkness, you are able to take a picture. Then I would want Mr. Chwara to probably take a picture. Mr. Chwara, I would want you to kind of switch off the lights and try to take a picture with this cell phone, so that we can demonstrate how good this camera is. You're not limited whether you're in the dark or you're in the light. You still can take a picture. And that's how confident we are with our phone. We don't say what the phone is. We tell you exactly what the phone can do. We don't lie to you and tell you this is what the camera can do. And when you buy the phone and you try to use it, it does something else. So I think they're still trying to set up that. When they are ready, we'll do a demo of that. Then the touchscreen, like what I've explained to you. What we've done is we've tried to use a Gorilla touchscreen on our devices. And I know most of you might not understand what a Gorilla touchscreen is. And you know, all you know is a gorilla, it's something which is scary. It's something which is probably strong and big. That's probably all you know about a gorilla. But what we have done is, if you find out that on your smartphone, you've got two main components that you have on your screen. You've got what is called a touch panel, which is the panel that you get to touch with your hands. Then you've got an LCD, which is a layer which is inside the touch panel. So what has been happening in the past years was to try to devise a mechanism where you connect a touch panel and an LCD. So that when you touch, the touch panel sends signals to the LCD, then you've got a full effect. And many people have been struggling with the responsiveness of their cell phones. When you try to navigate your cell phone, it's not as responsive as you want. It's because of that lag which is there between the time you touch on the touch panel and the time the touch panel transmits that information to the LCD. It happens in seconds, but there's still that delay that you might not probably see with your own eyes. What you have done, the screen that you have done, also taking into consideration the slimness that we want to achieve from this phone, we have created a screen which is an all-in-one. So the screen that we have used on this device is a screen that is a combination of a touch panel and an LCD, all-in-one. So because of that, you really don't have that time lag. So the responsiveness of this type of a screen, it's amazing. Some of these things you have to buy the phone and probably experience them on your own. It's just an amazing response that you probably get from the screen. I think the guys are ready. So I believe in show me, don't tell me. That's what I believe in. Show me, don't tell me. So we want to show you how amazing this camera is. We're going to take a picture probably where there's a light. Then we're also kind of just dimming on the lights. Then we also take a picture so that you see, you never get to miss a moment with this type of a camera. Even if you go to the rural areas, if you go anywhere that you're able to go, you still are able to get that. I think obviously because we're using another software, it will obviously try to interrupt the kind of quality that you want. What I would want is for you to take a picture there, then you then beam the picture. Okay. Then what I want you to do is to probably also kind of dim the lights. Those are the light. So you probably need to take away the phone from there, then take the picture, then you can plug it on. So if anyone can help us by probably kind of dimming the lights. Okay, so take out the camera there. You can make them darker if you want, and still take a picture quality out of this camera. Because I still see a little bit of light. But what we would want is probably if you can get more darker, if it's possible. Is it possible? Okay, I think now it's dark. Try to take there where there is darkness. There is probably outside lightness. So I know the cameras have become a big fuss nowadays, where everyone wants to have the phone with the best camera. So we have been trying to come up with what we believe is the best product globally. And we have spent a lot of time developing this camera. We have gone to different companies and we have told them, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. And they always ask us, what do you really want to achieve? If you try to do all these things, it will affect the cost of the device, and the device will be very expensive to the extent that no one will be able to afford it and it won't be competitive. But we still insisted on quality, because what we want to give you is the best user experience that you can probably ever have. So we believe in the best in everything that we do, especially on this model. We have tried to make the best out of everything out of this model. So can we move to the next slide while you're sorting that out? I know many of the people, they might not understand the significance of all these things, but when I finish, I think it will start to make sense why you need to probably buy a phone like this and what you're probably able to get out of this kind of a phone. So what is they're sorting, whatever they're sorting, I'll move to the next slide. The other thing that we have done on this type of a screen is we have managed to do a screen which is very responsive. I think I've told you the gap that we have closed. And with this smartphone, it's probably one of the few smartphones that you can use wearing your gloves. In most cases, you have to remove your gloves so that you can use your smartphone. And we are getting into winter. And sometimes it's very cold and it's discomforting to actually remove your gloves so that you can answer a cell phone. So what we have done is we've tried to create a screen which is all-weather screen. Whether you're wearing gloves or not, you can still use this type of a screen and it's still as responsive as you're not wearing anything in your hands. So it's able to respond to cotton, it's able to respond to wool, and I think it's an amazing feature on the screen of this kind of a phone. I'll talk about software. I think many people don't want to hear about software, but I think what we have done, we have tried to make our product unique. Most people always ask me, what makes your phone different from a Samsung or from an Apple product? What really makes your phone different? And it has been a difficult answer for us to actually tell people what was really different besides the brand name and probably the design. But what we had to do was to work on the software so that we create a unique software that people can use and can really say that this is the best software, and this is an African software, and this is a Zimbabwean software that I can use, and I can feel that I'm using everything that I have to use on my mobile devices. Because 90% of the applications that come on our devices, we don't use them. I think many people can agree on that. Most people, they just use probably, they receive phone calls, they can text their messages, and nowadays they probably use their phones for WhatsApp, and some go on Facebook, a little bit of the population is on Twitter, and that's all people use mobile devices, and it's probably less than 2% of what you can use your devices to do. And one of the major reasons is there are just no apps. There are no functionalities that you can relate to the local environment. Because 90% of the apps that you find on Play Store, you don't get to use them. They don't work for you. It's restaurants that are in the UK, in the States, and it tells you can search for restaurants. But if you try to search a restaurant, there is no restaurant that is going to come out of Zim. There's no hospital which is going to come out of Zim. So at the end of the day, you buy a device that you don't use. You pay money for something that you don't use. So what you have done is to try to create a software that you can use. Obviously, our phone runs on Android. I think Android is the best operating system at the moment. It's probably commanding a 70% market share. It's really doing well. Then I'll talk a little bit on the processor. I will not spend a lot of time on the processor. It's a quad-core processor. It's 2.2 gigahertz, which makes it a very fast software. When you use it, when you get to process things on your phone, you get to multitask a lot of things at the same time without really dragging or without you having to wait. Have you ever used a cell phone where you click, you have to first go and talk to your friend and then come back to wait if it has moved to the next page? I think there are cell phones like that. And what we've tried to do is a phone which gives you the response when you make the command. So when you click, the phone gives you the response there and there. No matter how many applications you are running, the phone is not slowed down. It keeps on giving you what you want it to give you. Then it's got an internal memory of 16 GB, and for another one, 32 GB. I think memory is a big thing. Nowadays, people want to take pictures, they want to take videos, you want to save your music onto your phone, and you want a big memory that can contain that. And over and above that, you can expand that through an SD card to 128 gig, which means you can have a total of about 150 gigabytes of storage on your mobile devices on this type of a phone. So what we've tried to do is to improve and increase our memory on our phone, so that you've got much space on your mobile devices. It's got a pre-installed radio. I think most of the people here, they're saying, what's so special about a radio? How can you talk about a radio? But almost all the prime handsets that you find in the market right now, they don't have a radio. Do you know that? Has anyone ever observed that? That every smartphone which is prime that you have, it doesn't have a radio. If you've got one, I think you might need to start to look at that. Do you know why? Because in the other countries, they've got so fast internet that everyone is going to streaming, and they don't really need to use the normal audio frequencies to listen to their radio. But is it the same case with us here? It's different. We don't have many radio stations. There are a couple that are now streaming, but you don't have many. And the data is very expensive. I don't know if you can afford to stream radio from morning to evening. I think it will probably cost you $100 a day or $50 a day to be able to do that, because the data is still expensive. So what we have done is we've retained the radio on our prime handsets. Because you understand, people in Africa, they still want to listen to radio, and they still want to use the frequency of the radio. I think at some point you want to listen to your news, at some point you want to listen to a certain program on your mobile devices. So what you've done is we've put the radio onto the phone. Now I want to talk about what makes this device unique. Besides that, it's the slimmest. Besides that, it's got the best camera. Besides that, it's got the best touchscreen. it's got the fastest processor. You know, what does that mean for me as a user? You know, what's so special about this? What makes this device cool? You know, in our age, we always use the word cool to describe something which is fascinating, which is nice. What you have done is you've created two softwares that will make the user experience of this device amazing and cool. We have developed what is called a mobile store. I think most of the people that have got smartphones, they've either a Play Store on your phone, or you either have got an Apple Store on your phone. This is basically a digital store which gives you the ability to buy digital content and other content onto your phone. What we have discovered that in Africa, you can't buy anything on your mobile phone. Why? Number one, you need visa to buy. Number two, whatever you're going to buy, you're really not going to use it. Number three, how are you going to put that thing on that platform? And number four, there's over 1 billion other applications already there that even if you put whatever you're going to be put, it's going to be so insignificant that no one is not even going to tell that you've got anything there. So we've looked into all those factors and say, you know what, there's something that has to come on our phone as part of our software that will give our customers the ability to buy music, local music. So with this phone, what you're now able to do, I'll start to talk about music. I think you can see some pictures that you probably know about. You can now buy local music on our phones using our mobile store. So all the local artists, you can now buy their music on your phone in the palm of your hands. You don't need to park by the safe station and call that guy and you look by the side to see if everyone is watching you because you're buying pirated music. And sometimes I couldn't blame people because me sometimes I really honestly want to buy these CDs, but I can't find them anywhere. I don't know if anyone has faced that challenge. You want to buy the CD, but you can't find it. What you've done is you've created a platform where you can now buy music on your phone. And the amazing thing is every song costs 10 cents on our platform. And obviously the next thing is, how am I going to pay for this music? That's probably the next question that you're probably going to ask. What we have done is you've created different payment platforms. First of all, we've created what we call mobile credits. Because for some reason, I was talking to someone and saying, for some reason, our people, they just want to scratch cards. For some reason. You find someone has got an eco-cash, or if someone has got a one wallet on their phone. Instead of juicing or recharging their airtime with their one wallet, what do? They still go to the corner guy, buy the airtime, scratch it. But they've got airtime on their phone that they can just juice from their phone. It's always amazing me how people do this. And I always ask people, why are you going to look for airtime when you've got airtime on your phone? But people, they just fell in love with scratching that they can't do without it. So what we have done is say, you know what, our people, they love scratching. Let's not take away scratching from them. So we have developed a scratch card which you can buy in the street the same way you can buy your airtime. You can scratch it, you can top your mobile store, and you can get to buy your music from that. So the credit card, the cards will be starting from $1, $5, $10, depending on what denomination that you want. So this is amazing. And you don't have just Zimbabwean music, you've got African music, you've got musicians from Nigeria, we've got musicians from Zambia, we've got musicians from Kenya, we've got musicians from South Africa coming onto the platform. So this is like an African platform that you've created where you've got access to African content. And our musicians are not crowded in the pool of other other musicians. They get to have the spotlight for someone to actually buy their music. So we don't just think of ourselves, but we also think of other people. We have thought of our musicians, that we've got so much talented musicians in this country. But what pains me most is someone has got a hit song on almost every cell phone that you find, people are playing their cell phone. But the guy can't even afford to get into a combi. It amazes me how this happens. And we are robbing our own artists. So what we have done is we have managed to create a platform which can make sure that our artists they are not robbed. They get to get revenue from their talent.
Oh, come on.
And I know someone will say, you know what, I will buy it and Bluetooth it or WhatsApp it. But what you have done is you've created an encrypted player. All the music on this platform is encrypted, and it's encrypted with the IME number of the phone, so the music can only play on that device. No matter how much you want to transfer it, no matter how much you want to copy it, it still cannot play on any other device. It can only play from the device that you've bought it from. So I think this will protect our artists. So the next thing that you can also get from our mobile store is wallpapers. I know we've got people that we love. We've got our pastors that we love. We've got our soccer players that we love. We've got different celebrities that we love. And what we have done is created a platform where you can actually buy or download for free all these wallpapers of these different people that you like. And we've also opened this up for sport. You also have got your international sport. You can also have access to that content. Then, you know, your celebrities, it's international celebrities, but giving prime precedence to our African celebrities. The next thing is books. I know there are people that love their books. You can also buy your books from Mobistore. Different type of books, local books, and everything that you can buy your books from us. So I'm very excited because I've got friends that write, like Dr. Zamara. He's a very passionate writer. And I'm always asking him, you know, why are things not happening? And he's telling me, you know what, you write a book, the next thing, there's 10,000 copies in the street and you don't get to make money out of the books that you're writing. And it made me develop a solution to say, you know what, this cannot continue to happen. What we need to do is develop solutions that actually encourage and empower our local publishers. So we've developed this platform where you can actually also buy books, different kind of books, be it business books, be it social books, be it educational books, all the books you now have on the platform. And if there are developers and publishers, you want to put your books on our platform, our offices are open, this is a platform for you. You are free to actually do this. And for convenience, what we have developed is an interface that you don't need to come to our offices. You can be an artist in Mzarabani, and you've got a song, a hit song in Mzarabani. You probably don't have money to come to Harare. What you've done, all you need is just internet, and you've created an interface that you just log in and upload your music, and automatically your music is on our Play Store. So you don't need to move from where you are. Because I want to believe there are a lot of hit songs that are coming from Mzarabani and they're dying there. And people don't get to know about them. But it doesn't mean those people are not talented. They just don't have a platform for them to actually showcase what they can do. We also have got applications, different applications. We've got a lot of developers that are developing applications in this country. And what we've also created for them is a platform where they can actually develop an app and they can put it. So this gives you the platform to actually use Zimbabwean apps. I know a lot of apps that have been developed locally, like the Yellow Page, where you can actually find the directories and everything. You can search for everything. You've got Images 24. You've got the EcoCache for those that don't want to use the USSD. You've got many applications that have been developed locally, but we don't know about them because there's no platform for our developers to actually showcase what they've done. So what we've done is we've created them a platform where they can actually showcase their applications. Then also we've got sermons on our platform where you can actually have access to sermons. Our country, many people, obviously they say it's an 80% Christian country. I don't know how true is that, but we say almost everyone is a Christian in this country. And what has become a source of comfort to many people is going to church and probably listening to sermons from different pastors. So what we've done through the Mobistore, you can also buy your favorite messages from your pastor at the comfort of your mobile phone. So you don't need to really scrounge for a CD or go to the church to actually buy it. So from your cell phone you can buy any message from any pastor that you want. So I believe that's real convenience. And you can only get that from an Astro. I thought I would remind you. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is a business application, which we have integrated onto this phone, which I believe is an amazing application. I'll start by saying, how many people here in this room probably have received their emails on their phones? If they're here, you can just raise your hand. I can see a number of hands that have been raised. Because of convenience, most people, they want to receive their emails on the phone. They want to constantly be in touch with their offices and everything that happens at the office on their phone. But there's always a problem with that. When you've got access to corporate information on a private cell phone, there's always a battle between the two. At my workplace, I always have a battle with my staff when I tell someone that I tried to get in touch with you on WhatsApp, but you're not available. The next thing that they tell you is, I didn't have airtime. So you can't really go further after that. Because in other words, they're telling you didn't buy me the airtime. So how do you expect to talk to me on my personal cell phone, on my WhatsApp? So it has been an issue to say, how do we go around these things to make sure that there's full productivity in the workspace? And besides that, the risk that is associated, I was talking to someone and saying, do you know the risk that is associated in you having access to corporate information either on your iPad or on your smartphone? And they say, no, I don't know. And I was basically giving them an example that if I hack into your cell phone today, on your cell phone, and you're connected to your company email, it gives me the platform to hack into your company server through your cell phone. And I go into your company operating system. If it's a bank, I go into my bank account, I take money from another account, I put the money to another account. Then I go on the ATM, then I take the money from the ATM. Then I go, boom, just like that. And 100% of Zimbabwean companies are that exposed. 100% of our banks right now, they are that exposed. Because I know almost all their senior managers, they've got either iPads or different kind of smartphones that they have. And all these people, they get to receive emails and different information on these phones. And I just want to remind you that this is how exposed you are. It only takes one guy, probably like me, to really take away all the money of the depositors in your bank. So this is how exposed you are if you didn't know. It's only a matter of time that, because it's happening everywhere else. We are reading about it everywhere else. Yeah. Cybercrime, we know about it. But what are we doing as companies to protect ourselves from cybercrime? Nothing. We don't have a solution to counter for that. But with that in mind, like I told you, Astro, we always fail to sleep because of you. Because of our customers, because of, trying to come up with the best solutions for you guys. We have come up with this product called Go Enterprise. What this product does, it basically separates your cell phone, your personal cell phone and your business cell phone on one cell phone through this application. What am I saying? What I'm saying is you are able to operate two cell phones on one cell phone, where you've got a company cell phone and a personal cell phone. When I say a company cell phone, what do I mean? You're able to receive your work emails on your phone that are encrypted and secure. You're able to do instant messaging on your phone. You're able to have your contacts on your phone. And what's so smart about this application is everyone on your company database